Everyone, what's with these guys?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Red United TV. It's your boy, Ivory Spice, and it's the catch-up volume 114, another podcast Saturday night after Manchester United have been humbled and a humiliating defeat against Crystal Palace, aka Crystal Palace, against aka Black Palace. Yes, Manchester United disappointing on a Saturday night, not allowing us to enjoy our weekend. But we are back with the Royal Card edition because there's probably a lot of fans are fuming today, including the guys as well on the panel. But first of all, remember to subscribe to Red United TV on YouTube. We're live on Twitch as well. We're live on Kick, and we're also live on Rumble. So make sure you follow all social media profiles as well. And of course, remember to follow Red United TV on Instagram, Red United TV1. We're on a route to 16,000 followers as well. Follow me personally, Ivory_Spice, and follow us on Twitch, man. Let me get the guys in the room because boy, oh boy, not happy with the situation today. I'm pissed off. I'm fuming. Big up to Traps as well. Big up to Jerome to just join us. I'm expecting, of course, Allah to join us in a minute, but so much to discuss, so much to talk about, man. Smash that like button, guys, and share across all social media platforms because it is Manchester United 0, Crystal Palace 1. Crystal Palace taking 3 points at Old Trafford. Back-to-back defeats at Old Trafford for Manchester United, guys. Lackluster performance. We had all the balls in the world, and I can say pause on that. But we had all the possession, but did fuck all when it came to challenging the opposition of Crystal Palace's goalkeeper, the opposition goalkeeper. We did nothing. Sometimes I ask myself, why the fuck do we have a striker? Because we didn't find that striker today. We didn't, bro. What's the point of having Rasmus Højlund? They don't feed him. They don't, and it's just typical Manchester United guys throughout the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years. We don't find our strikers. Our strikers don't thrive at Manchester United. It doesn't matter what system it is. But Manchester United, poor result. Again, it's a setback for Manchester United. It is what it is, but big up to you, man, as well. Big up to Traps, big up to Jerome. We're going to start kicking off by getting our feelings out, getting our overall thoughts on the game, and then we talk about the player, the manager, and look into the manager's quotes as well, and then your man of the match and donkey of the match, and then the rest of the segment. I'm gonna start off with you, Traps. Traps, you look fuming. You got your shades on.
Yeah, the shades come on today, man. So it's a sad day for a Man United fan, man. And I'm not happy about it, man. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not happy about it. I've been thinking about what's been going on, and yeah, man, it's getting to a situation now where it's too much now, man. Too much.
It's too much right now. But big up to you, man. What's your overall thoughts on that game against Crystal Palace? Man United 0, Crystal Palace 1.
Wait, he took to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, the game was poor. Yeah, like the game was poor from. We started off well, then obviously we can see the goal against the run of play. Obviously, Crystal Palace had a game plan. They've executed their game plan. They've sat back and they said, you know what? Even if we get a point here, like we're just going to defend this game out. Not only that, when they did attack us, they had the better chances. So for me, this is again on Erik ten Hag. You've come back. You had a good game against Crystal Palace 3-4 days ago. You've taken certain people out of the team, yeah, and you put people back in the team, and they haven't performed. And your in-game management has been poor. And as a result, yeah, man, Old Trafford's gone from a fortress to a fucking food bank in the space of 2 weeks. Like, so I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I just think like he needs to step up his in-game management, because Rashford going onto the right is pointless. Rashford, if he's not performing on the left, take him off the pitch. It's as simple as that. So Bruno for me today was poor. You sub on Ericsson before you sub on Hannibal, who had a good game against Palace. You need a goal. You bring on Maguire. All these things, and obviously decisions didn't go our way today again. But that's been how it's been all season. But to be honest with you, the substitutions, and he keeps coming up against teams like when he came up against Brighton, played his diamond, worked for a little while, got found out, doesn't do anything more, that just doesn't react to it, and he keeps getting found out by these teams, because you have to find a way to beat these teams. Yeah, so if it's not working out one way, it's got to work out another way. And he's just not, I don't think he ain't got it in him. Same substitutions, got Nacho coming on, expected to save the day, individual brilliance. This guy is not a tactician. He's behaving like a politician at the minute. I'm not gonna lie.
Man, behaving like a politician. Big up to Traps for that, man. Jerome, you watched that match. What's your overall thoughts about that game, man?
I can't even lie. I'm still a bit deflated from that defeat, to be honest, and I'm still trying to come to terms with it, because from the performance we had on Tuesday, it was a great performance with the team that we put out. We looked fluid, we looked confident, we were actually controlling the game. And at one point, we looked like losing that game. And then he changed the team. I don't know why he changed the team, because usually winning teams, you keep the same winning teams, the winning formula. And putting Bruno and Rashford back in the team, I reckon, in my opinion, cost us dearly, because these two guys have not been playing well all season. And I think the manager's gonna die on this Bruno and Rashford sword, because putting them back in just totally disrupted our fluency and control of the game. And at one point, did we look like scoring a goal? Like, if we were going to score a goal, it's going to be from a set piece or individual brilliance. Obviously, I know that Palace scored against the run of play, but other than that, they look comfortable. We just didn't look like scoring. And as you said, like Hoyland, there's no point of us bringing in a new striker, because any striker that comes into this team is not going to get any service, because the manager's always going to stick with Rashford, whose so-called best position is on the left, and he doesn't do anything from the left apart from give the ball away and run into people and constantly make the wrong decisions. And then we're just totally non-existent on the right, because obviously Anthony's got his domestic issues. He's got issues with Sancho. Pelestri, I did want him to get a chance in the team, but after seeing him today, he's not ready. He's not ready for Premier League football. He just looked out of his depth, and he just looked like a kid in the playground on that right-hand side. So you basically just got Hoyland just having to do everything on his own, basically. So we were never going to score today. The best case scenario was going to be a draw. But obviously, we can't blame the goalkeeper this time, because every time we seem to concede the goal, it seems to be Fernandes' fault. But no keeper was saving that. That first time shot at that miles per hour, I don't even know what that speed that was, but that shot burst into the net, and you saw the ball come out of the net straight away. So there's no way no goalkeeper saving that. But I'm just still hugely disappointed in how shit we played today. It was garbage. We could barely string 3 or 4 passes together. I don't know what the manager's trying to do based on that game, because we put Mount and Bruno together, and we've seen earlier in the season, at the start of the season, they don't seem to work together. We're not controlling games, and they just seem to keep going missing. So I'm just hugely disappointed. It just reminded me of the Brighton game, but it felt even worse, because we should have kicked on from then, especially because we played the same opposition on Tuesday. I just don't know why we can't seem to control games against these low block teams. We don't have a formula to win, and I think in the manager's second season, I expected to see more. I expected us to kick on. I expected to see a style of play. There's no style of play. That I'm running out of excuses for this manager and this team, because everyone seems to be scared and not wanting the ball. Like, obviously we had the possession, but we did nothing with it. There's no point having the ball and just passing it from side to side and then giving it away after the third or fourth pass. Like, what's the point? That you're just making Palace's job easy. All they had to do was just sit back and just see the game out, really, because we didn't create anything. Like, I think Højlund had a header in the second half, what he just directed it straight at the keeper, which would be good. So I think Mount had the header as well, as a chance that I can remember off head. That was in the second half as well. But I don't remember seeing anything in that first half, if I'm going to be brutally honest with you. And there was a chance that that Palace could have scored a second on the break as well. So it just it was just a shambles, to be honest, an absolute shambles. And we're taking so long to make substitutions. We should have probably made one at the beginning straight away in the second half, because the first half showing was so poor. And as long as I see Bruno and Rashford, I know people might think that I've got an agenda against these two players, but the eye test don't lie. We've seen it this whole season so far, 7 games in, and my views ain't going to change. As long as this manager plays Bruno and Rashford in the team, and if he plays Bruno and Mount in that midfield together, I ain't expecting us to do anything major at all this season. We're not going to get on this run of winning like 3-4 games in a bounce, and that should be standard for a team challenging for top 4 places. And on current form, we could forget about top 4 and top 5, because this team's struggling to win a game at home. And our home form is meant to be our bread and butter based on last season. But now, teams are just going up to Old Trafford with no pressure whatsoever and just being in cruise control. So, there's a lot of work for the manager to work. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but it just looks like a bunch of strangers put together anytime he puts these two players in this team, because we look fluid, as I said earlier, on Tuesday with that lineup. Also, I know that Martial, question marks over his fitness, but we look so much better when Martial's up front, linking with the forward players. But when Rashford's playing, it's just almost like he's just doing his own thing. It's like 10 players and then one individual just doing whatever and just freestyling. And you got Bruno just doing whatever he wants as well and not being disciplined as well. So, and I didn't understand Amrabat playing at left back. Like, what's Amrabat supposed to do? Play left back and midfield like at the same time? Like, some of these decisions that I'm seeing it's questionable from a manager that I rated very highly when he came into the club. But right now, I can't even lie, I'm having doubts about this manager's ability to take us forward.
Again, hear it there, but people are having doubts as well. Big up to Jesse Uptown as well, and big up to Stephanie that's just tuning in as well. So much to say about Manchester United as well. There's so much to discuss. Let me get straight to Stephanie's comments there. She's saying that evening, gents, hope you are well under the circumstances. If Rashid doesn't cover defensively and is selfish offensively, why play him? Big up Eyewear and Spice as well. She also says that if we don't keep a clean sheet, United always struggle. Big up to Jesse Uptown that says as well. First of all our attacks still the same. We just added a young 20-year-old striker. It's a shame that Ola I think something's wrong with his connections. I just about to ask him what his thoughts, man. But for me, I'll be honest with you guys. I'm in doubts, man. I really am in doubts in the current situation with Manchester United. And then looking at that game, the fact that Manchester United had possession, it didn't mean shit. It amount to nothing. The first goal that we conceded, and how typical, guys, that Manchester United always start off well, the first 20 minutes. And I said it. I said it. I was when my watch along there. We're gonna start off well, and then we're gonna concede that goal, and then from there we'll see what happens. Did you guys feel the same way as well, Traps? Did you feel the same way? Watching
No,
that
I
game for
didn't
23
feel. I
minutes?
didn't feel. I just thought, you know what? We're at home. We beat them a few days ago. I didn't really understand the midfield because this whole Mount Bruno 210s. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what it is, or I don't know. But obviously, Casemiro. It's evident that cannot be done. And to be fair, because of the way Palace played, it looked like it was working. It wasn't working. Yeah, because Palace had decided to go into 2 banks of 4 and defend the game out. Yeah, had they had just kept their shape and started playing us, they would have been cutting through us, and they could have, that game could have been 2-3-0. But again, if they would have done that, yeah, we might have been able to open them up easier and score. However, they have now presented Ten Hag with a problem with that formation, and he's done nothing about it. Yeah, he's done nothing about it. He's just let it run, let the game, let the minutes tick away, and then what do we do? Like, so I'm not surprised. I thought this would be a routine win, but when they scored, I said, "Yep, I know what's happening here today. We're not. This is one of them games."
This is one of them games, man. Joe, what about you? Was you thinking the same thing that I was thinking? Because it's been typical Manchester United. Typical Manchester United. But before I even get to you, Ola's just joined us. Ola will get your overall thoughts in a second, but I just asked Jerome that question. Did you feel the same way that I feel? 20 minutes into this game, just dominating possession, of course, typical Manchester United, because it's been the story for Manchester United, starting off very well in the first 20 minutes, and then all of a sudden concede a goal. What did you
To be fair, it does seem like we're getting to this habit of playing well the first 15, 20 minutes each game and then just folding after that. I don't know if it's to do with the players' fitness or whether they just have a burst of adrenaline at the start of the game and then it just fades out. But we can't continue in this vein, like playing for like people calling us like 20 minutes FC, because we don't do anything after that. And it's just hugely concerning. But I'm just more concerned about the players that the manager's putting out as opposed to our start, because as Chap said, we're at home, like Old Trafford, like we should be a walk in the park. We just beat them 3-4 days ago. Like, I just don't understand why we can't just put a solid performance up for 90 minutes. Why does it have to be in moments? I thought we brought this manager in to control games, not play for 15, 20 minutes and then fold. So, it's just crazy, to be honest. But what can we do? This is just therapy at the moment.
Yes, it is, guys. Therapy. Make sure you guys subscribe to Red United TV on YouTube. Smash that like button, guys, as well. Get your thoughts and comments in it. For those who are watching across Twitch, YouTube, Facebook as well, and Rumble as well, and Kick as well, man. Ola, welcome to the chat, to the podcast. Again, I want to get your overall thoughts on that game against Manchester United after they just lost back-to-back defeats at Old Trafford. What's your thoughts on that game, man?
Yeah, pick up the panel. So yeah, I had to come in late to go get something. But like overall, I think I was happy and excited before the game. Seeing how we played in the Carabao Cup, I was expecting us to have a better performance than that, bringing the momentum into the league. But I was surprised with the performance we got. I think Rashford and Bruno coming into this team is a huge factor to that, because I would have stuck with the same team that played Carabao Cup. I know everyone will say Bruno is the captain, Rashford is one of our best players. Fine, we all know that. We know that. But so far this season, Rashford has been poor, missing a lot of chances and not playing well so far this season. And we had a game which Garnacho played well. You can see when Garnacho came in, he was direct, taking on the defenders. We created more chances with Garnacho coming when Garnacho came on. I think he should have just stuck with that team, and maybe in the second half, or if it wasn't going well, then change it. So I will have to put that blame on Erik, because I think Rashford, as much as he wants to play him every game, he should he should be accountable for the type of performances he has been having. And same with Bruno. Bruno is captain of this team. I know no manager will want to keep his captain on the bench, but we saw that with Maguire last season. He was our captain, even though we knew he was just like on the face of it. But because he wasn't having good performances, he was on the bench. So Bruno should also be taken off in some games if he's not playing well. Because I think it gives you the passion, the running up and down the pitch, but the creativity has not been there so far this season. And one thing I would also say about this game is we create chances. Like you see, after the first 20 minutes, we concede a goal with down tools and the performance is not up to that level. But during that 20 minutes, we always create enough chances for us to be ahead. In this game, we started well, we should have gotten a goal or two. Like, chances are, it's not about creating 100 chances. You can create 200 chances. If you don't score a goal, the chances are useless. And we've had that so far this season, creating the chances but not taking the chances. And I think that's what we need, because if you play well for a 20 minutes spell and you get a goal, that goal gives you the momentum to go for more goals. But if you don't get a goal, then you concede, then the momentum drops. So I think I'm just a little bit confused why, and I think Rashford is a big factor in this, because a lot of our chances go through him, and he is very wasteful when it comes to chances. When it comes to decision making so far this season hasn't been good. So you might want to back him all you want. You might be a Rashford fan. I don't care, but at this point, he needs to be taken off early, or not even starting, or even stay on the bench. And I think Erik saw that. He took him off in the 72nd or 73rd minute, but he should have done that earlier. And when Galatasaray came in, we saw how direct he was and what he was trying to do. But I'm just overall, I just think United so far this season we've struggled a lot. I don't know why. It might be due to fitness. Like I was listening to someone and the guy said he knew this would happen because last season these players played a lot of games, a lot of new into Ten Hag reign, a lot of training, a lot of hard work was put into last season. And I think we are still having that effect of that last season this season. And this season should have been better if we had better owners and we have recruited better players, because I think now we have to put up with Amrabat playing as a left back. He shouldn't get to that level. But now we don't have a choice. So I think the injuries also is affecting the returner's plan, because I think he should have been having Amrabat playing through the middle. And I think if playing through the middle, we will have more security of the ball. Defensively, will be better and it will help us going forward. But now he has to play as the left back in this game. So overall, I just think it needs to improve. We are getting far behind in the league. And like I said in the last game against Burnley, we might not get the good performance, but we need the 3 points. I don't care how you get 3 points, get me the 3 points, because the more you keep losing the 3 points, the more you keep going down the table. And other teams are getting this point. You can see Spurs today winning against Liverpool. Yes, we know City lost, but regardless, Arsenal won. Like, the gap is already getting high. Like, it's still 7 points or 8 points from the top already. And we still have a lot of top teams to play against. This is just Crystal Palace. We struggled against Burnley. Now we've lost to Crystal Palace. So games like this, we should be picking up the points, and I think it needs to get better very fast. We got Galatasaray in the Champions League. We need to do better. We need to get the win in that game, because if we lose that game, I think at that point it's getting from bad now and going towards getting worse.
Oh, yes, of course. I had a lot to say. It could get worse right now, because Manchester United has had the worst start to the season. And again, the accolades and the records starts coming towards Manchester United. Let me get straight to the comments as well, man. Big up to those who are tuning in and watching. Subscribe to Red United TV across all social media platforms, and smash that like button for those who are watching. Again, Stephanie says Casemiro missed Hannibal protection today as well. United set up to attacking Bruno, Mount, Rashi, not in my starting lineup, and of course, Stephanie says big up Ola as well. And big up to Red A team as well. Big up the man then, but I thought Jerome was not coming on after the defeat. No, I commend us Manchester United fans to still come on and show our faces, you know.
No, I had to come on, to be honest, because it would have just looked like I was hiding just because United lost. Obviously, emotions were running high earlier, but yeah, I had to come on and air my views, really. I couldn't just sit in silence after watching that shit show.
Exactly. He needed therapy. He needed to come and get out his chest just to feel a bit better. He can sleep a bit better tonight, bro. You get me? Because the stress he out of this is like we really lost to a guy that will get frozen to stay alive after the game. Roy Hodgson's moving like Prince Philip, as Jesse Upton says. Jesse Upton says also Sancho should never apologize and just go to Barca for his career. Roku says, "Is my comment visible?" Yeah, your comment visible. Don't worry, Roku, man. You know what? Yeah, let me read a bit. You know what? Let's just be fair, because Roku did this comment says if you criticize him, you are anti-United and told to stop supporting the club. The standards are shambles, organizing barbecues after 1-0 win against Burnley, who haven't won a game, excited after beating Palace. 10th in the league. How long are we waiting for till we get relegation? Again, a big up to everyone that's in the comments as well. Man. Smash that like button, subscribe to Red United TV. And then again, where Ola was saying, let's pick up what Ola was saying, because Ola was saying something. He picked up on the players, and we're going to talk about players now. He spoke Marcus Rashford. Jerome spoke Marcus Rashford. I don't know if I spoke Marcus Rashford. I don't know if Travis spoke Marcus Rashford. But Marcus Rashford, another performance in the garbage, in the bin. You know, then today's game, there was a lot of Marcus Rashford with opportunities just at the games beforehand. But today, Marcus Rashford again continues to do everything wrong with his decision making. You know, people talk about Ten Hag's IQ in songs, but we want to talk about Rashford's low IQ, football IQ, because he just keeps consistently showing that he will never improve that football IQ. At this age, 25, it's too late. Let's talk Marcus Rashford. Traps, what's your thoughts on Marcus Rashford's performance?
Marcus Rashford's performance was poor. He was poor. I think it's a narrative thing with this whole decision making thing and that, because he made 30 good decisions last season, right? So it's evident that he can do that. We don't know. I don't know what. I don't know what he was doing today. I don't know what the situation is with his fitness or what's going on. But at the end of the day, I've said this: the biggest problem that Manchester United have with these players, like Rashford, I like Rashford. I think Rashford's a good player, but the biggest problem they have is competition for places. At a football club like this, there's no way you be able to know that if you play shit, you will get a next game. That should not happen at a club this big. They should, what Ten Hag should have been letting these lot know, yeah, before this game is, we had a good game against Palace the other day, right? They haven't had. There was no. Every player that played yesterday, played earlier today, played earlier this week against us. Yeah, either they started or they came on. So at the end of the day, yeah, this team that I put out there is capable of beating these lot convincingly on this ground. They've done it this week. So let it be known that these young boys are breathing down you lot's necks now. So if you lot don't start getting your act together, these lot will replace you at the end of the day. But you know what? Ten Hag doesn't have the guts, because everyone says, oh, Ten Hag has to deal with this. And he had to deal with this. He had to deal with Ronaldo. He had to deal with Sancho. He had to deal with all this stuff. Bruv, why are you not dealing with this, mate? Because at the end of the day, this is your job. And this group of players is known, yeah, when you start getting tough with them, or you start letting them know that they have power, they throw you under the bus, mate. Yeah? So why are you letting this happen? It's your own fault. You've got enough examples with Solskjaer, Rangnick, yeah? You've got enough examples. Why are you letting this happen? No one can't blame Marcus Rashford for him playing. Because at the end of the day, if he's not good enough, the manager should be saying, you're on the bench. The same way you can get up at a press conference and say about Sancho not being good enough in training, is the same way you should be saying to these players, they're not playing for you on the pitch, mate. So at the end of the day, this is another thing. This is the whole flip side to the whole Sancho thing. Because right now, you need the option like Sancho, mate. Yeah, you need him right now, because that's someone who could come in and maybe make a difference for you right now. Yeah, he had a good preseason. You didn't back him and believe in him like how you backing these boys. And maybe he's had enough. But at the end of the day, you cannot keep playing Rashford how he's playing. It's as simple as that. Because if you do, you are to blame.
Yep. Anyone else want to add to that, the Marcus Rashford situation, or what Traps just said?
Yeah, I totally agree with Chaps. I was even saying this earlier in the week that I know I don't want to keep talking about past glories and stuff, But under Sir Alex Ferguson, no matter what he did the previous season, you could have scored. You could have been the top goal scorer. Could have scored 30 Premier League goals. Could have scored top scorer in the Champions League. If you was not performing one game, you would be out of the team for the next game immediately, regardless of what your name was. You could be the best player in the world. If you're playing shit, you're out of the team. You're not undroppable. But for some reason, ETH seems to have his favourites. We're going back to this favourites FC settings now, and favourites FC only works in only one outcome, and that's the manager losing his job. And ETH is putting his job on the line by constantly playing out of form players and not changing the team around, because Rashford has been piss poor this whole season. So obviously I know the season's still early, we just ended September, but he's been poor, but he's still playing. It's almost like he can do no wrong. Like the manager keeps coming out and saying that the team played well when the team played shit. So in these players' minds, they're probably thinking, I played all right. The manager thinks I'm all right, so I'll continue in the same vein. And he's just been playing piss poor. He hasn't improved. His IQ is not there. I don't think it will ever be there. And I'm just shocked that, I know I said it earlier in the show, I'm just shocked that the manager didn't play the same team that beat the same team he played so convincingly on Tuesday and changed it up and thought that we were going to get the same result. It's just shocking, really. And there's players there that could come in for Rashford. Like there's Garnacho can come in and get his chance. That we need to start like keeping players on their toes, because players in this club are just too comfortable. And I think Rashford's got an ego issue because he's got his new contract now and he's like one of the highest paid players in the club. He thinks that he can just do what he wants now. He thinks that he's the main character in this team, and he's not. He's not as good as he thinks he is. He's not Mbappe. He's nowhere near Mbappe's level. So I think he needs to be taken down a notch or two, because the last couple of weeks, all this not tracking back and not challenging for balls and stuff, he's beginning to expose himself as a player with a big ego that thinks he's a lot better than he is. So he definitely needs to get dropped. If he's not dropped in this next game that we got them, I don't know what's going to garner for this manager. But as I said, favourites FC does not work at all. And it always has a bad knock-on effect for the rest of the team when they look at this manager side-eyeing him, thinking, wow, how am I going to get a game when he just keeps playing players that are playing out of form?
Mm-hmm. I think if I could buttress on Jerome's point, I think the first two games of the season, I think Galatasaray started on the left wing with Rashford starting up front, and he didn't really play well, so you had to drop him for the upcoming games. I get that, but from our past 2 or 3 games, Galatasaray has come on and has played better. Like in the 15 minutes he was on, he played better than what Rashford did for the 75 minutes he was on. So it shows you that this player is in form and is performing. And I don't know. I know, yes, like Chap said, last season he scored 30 goals. But last season is last season. We have to look at this season. And this season so far, he hasn't been doing enough. He's not tracking back. He's not creating chances. He's being selfish. When he needs to pass, sometimes he just hits the ball, making wrong decisions. Everything has been bad for him so far. So maybe he needs to sit on the bench and watch someone like Garnacho do what he can do. Then maybe there will be a change. And like you said, in the next game, he has to be on the bench. I don't know. He might be doing well in training. He might be scoring 10 goals in training. I don't care. But it's what you do on the pitch in the game that matters. And so far in these games, he hasn't been doing fuck all in those games.
One thing I can say about Rashford, yeah, in his defense, is that he has created chances, yeah, and Højlund has been poor, but because Højlund's new, everyone gives him the benefit of the doubt. That's the God's honest truth of it. But at the same time, yeah, if we're not winning games, you're going to be highlighted to see more of what you're doing wrong. Do you understand? So as a collective, they've all been poor. They've all been shit. Every single one of them players has been shit. Yeah. But Rashford, for me, because we think that Rashford is this player that's going to score us goals, is going to create us chances, we are relying on Rashford. But the truth is, Ten Hag's relying on Rashford, and he's not coming good. So you have to change it. You have to change it.
Not only Rashford, even Bruno. Bruno is captain of this team, but so far this season,
let's talk about Bruno's performance as well today. Let's highlight that.
He hasn't really done anything this season. He has, and I think because it's the captain, he might not want to. My philosophy, and I think with someone like Ten Hag that we all think is this man that always wants good performances from these players. If your captain is not playing well, you can take him out. You can bring someone else in there. I don't give a fuck if it's Bruno Fernandes, because so far this season he hasn't done anything this season. Just running up and down the pitch. I know he has the passion, he has this and that, but he has not been creating anything. So you can't keep playing him. Yeah, we can say Rashford because we know what Rashford can do. He did it last season, scoring 30 goals. We expected more from him this season, and he has started poorly. But Bruno also, as a captain, needs to do more. And if he's not doing that, he needs to be on the bench. Like you could see Hannibal, you could see Garnacho, Pelechi, those guys playing in the last game, putting their all. When they lose the ball, they are tracking back to win it. Like there's no ego of I'm a big player, I'm this and that. And you could see it in the game. Everyone fighting till the last minutes of that game. If that Crystal Palace game in the Carabao Cup has continued, you might have scored 2 or 3 other goals because they keep fighting till the end. But you can see this with these players that they are feeling like I'm the big player in the team, I'm the captain, I don't need to do this, do that. You need to do better. You need to lead by example. And if you're the captain, if you're the one having the bad performances, then what are you telling the other players to do? Like, how are you going to talk to the other players when you as the captain is not performing well? It's not all about shouting at the referee and trying to get all the decisions come your way, but you need to do better. Like and I could say Ireland, fine, you can say they are creating chances for him, but how many chances are they really created for Ireland?
Nothing, guys.
No. Listen, Hoyland. Listen, Hoyland has been stinking out the place, bro. Like, let's be clear.
Traps.
No. Listen, let me give you an example. Right? See the last game, yeah, the Crystal Palace game, right? So Rashford's got the ball, right? This is like in the dying embers of the game, right? Rashford's got the ball. Bearing in mind, this is a striker that wants to get goals. So he's got the ball. Rashford's waiting for him so he can play him in. Where is Hoyland? Hoyland's on the halfway line jogging. He should be busting his lung to get in that box to receive that ball. Yeah. When he gets chances in the box, you have to remember he's meant to be in the 6-yard box, target man in the 6-yard box. When you get them headers, you got to make sure them headers are away from the goalkeeper. When you get them chances in the 6-yard box, you're spinning around and falling over off your own feet. Listen, football is fine lines, you know. That is the difference between winning and losing the game. And as a number 9, I went and watched Haaland the other day, right? I watched Haaland for, I think it's about 70 minutes. This guy didn't even have a touch of the ball. Not even a touch. Not a chance. Not nothing. Yeah? He got one chance, goal. That's what I'm trying to say. So all of this, Haaland ain't getting this and Haaland ain't getting that. Yeah? You've seen it with Haaland. Haaland comes out the season with 30 plus goals in the league and touches the ball 7 times in a match. So how does it make sense?
I get that, Chaps, I get that. But at the end of the day, I just feel like United, we've had this for our strikers for years. And like you said, Ireland is a new striker in a new league. It takes time to adapt to the league. But regardless, I think Haaland, I don't like to compare a lot of strikers to Haaland because I think he's like one of the, like he is in the league of his own, because you know when he gets his chances, he scores. And that's the way he has been for him since when he was mold down to him getting to the Premier League. But with Ireland, we bought a striker that scored 9 goals last season at Atlanta. We don't expect him to come into the league and start and score 20 goals this season or 10. Like if he scores 10 goals, I would think he has done okay because we got
this is what I mean. This is what I mean, right? You see answer questions like this, yeah. This is not what I'm expecting from anybody. And because I mentioned Hoyland and Haaland, people think I'm doing a comparison of both players. I'm not. I'm just letting you know that as a striker, as a number 9, you need to take your chances. Yeah? Whether 1 or 2 or 3 come, it's basic. It's not about Haaland does it, so he must do it. It's basics. That is the basic of a striker. You might not get 2, 3, 4, 5. People want Hoyland to get 7, 8, 9 chances in the game. How can that be possible? Because there's going to be games where you get 1 chance. You have to score.
Yeah, true. I get that, Charles. But I think so far, I think he has not. I've not seen any game that he even gets 5 chances. Sometimes just 1 or 2.
Yeah, but that's the Premier League. People call it the best league in the league.
You know, in Hoyland's defense, he's just coming to a team that's not creating chances. I'm sorry, but I'm not seeing Hoyland missing clear-cut chances in cities left, right, and centre. I'm seeing him scrapping for chances. It's almost like he's begging for someone to create him a chance. And when that elusive chance has come to him, it's like the whole world's relying on him to put the ball in the back of the net. And I think like we're putting far too much pressure on a young striker that's new to the Premier League. I think he's going to need a lot of time and patience before we're going to expect him to start scoring consistently, because he's like our main guy now, because Martial can't stay fit and Rashford, his best position is on the left apparently, but I'm not seeing that at the moment. So we're relying on a 20-year-old to take us to glories, and it's not going to happen, unfortunately. So
well, listen,
we're gonna have to be patient with him.
That's another subject as well, right? So at the end of the day, you signed a 20 million. You signed a 20-year-old. This 20-year-old didn't cost peanuts. Yeah, he cost a lot of money, right? So at the end of the day, if you don't believe that he's ready, then you should be opposing against buying this striker for the money that you spent. Because if you spend that kind of money, I expect to see goals. And if he isn't ready, Martial is fit at the minute, so he should be on the bench, because Martial, yeah, believe it or not, when he's fit, he will finish those chances. That is the truth of it. He's very good in the tight space, yeah, like all those in the box, and he can get in the box and he can run, he can shoot. He's got it all. He just can't stay fit, but he is fit now. So what are you doing, mate? Are you gonna sit there and say, we're relying on a 20-year-old, or are you gonna play a Martial who everyone wanted out the club because of his fitness, not because of how he plays, but he's fit now. So he just scored a goal. He scored a goal in his last game. He's on the bench. Højlund didn't score. Højlund wasn't running. When Højlund had a chance, like I said, in the last to run, he didn't bust his balls to get in the box. He's jogging on the halfway line. He didn't want a goal, in my mind. In my mind, you're beating Palace 3-0 at home. Yeah, there's a chance on the break, and you're not busting your balls to get in the box. You don't want a goal. That's what I think. So
I just want to stop you there, Traps, so we can move on to the manager himself, Erik. But yes, I hear you. I hear everyone. Smash that like button, guys. Share across all social media platforms as we are still live talking about Manchester United versus Crystal Palace. 1 goal from Crystal Palace, 0 against Manchester United. It's been a bad night for us. It started off good with a midweek win, but let's go straight to the manager. The manager, Erik ten Hag. We're discussing the manager now. Erik ten Hag. So far, if you look at the Premier League record this season, it's been 7 games, 4 defeats, 3 wins, 11 goals conceded, 7 goals scored. Bloody hell. Guys, let's talk about it. To Erik ten Hag, the team selection and the substitution. Who wants to go first?
I think I should go first there.
Go on.
I think with Erik ten Hag, I don't know. Like, I don't want ten Hag out yet, because I think he hasn't gotten to that level that we see the manager because he tried last season. But now, like there was a point Sharps made or Jerome that said like about Sir Alex, last season is last season. Now we are in a new season. We need to perform this season. And so far, it is still making us before. When it comes to substitution, sometimes it takes it too late. Rashford should have been off by 40, like by halftime in this game, or let's say 50, 55 minutes, he should have been out. He kept him on till 75 minutes. I know in my team as a very good player, I want to give him the opportunity to be able to score or something. I don't care. Once the player is not performing, change it. And overall, he has played the diamond. He didn't work out. He has tried different formations. I know at the end of the day, he is still hampered by a couple of injuries. So that might be like maybe when we get the players back, we'll see a better performance or a better. But so far, he needs to do better. Tactically, the players is starting, and what he always says is any player that plays well gets a chance to start in the next game. And so far this season, we've not seen that. Bruno, like this game is a perfect example. Bruno and Rashford should not be coming in this game. He should have stayed on that bench, and if it doesn't work out, then you bring them on to try and impact the game. But the fact that he didn't give players like Martial the opportunity to kick on from that performance, because it took him up in like in the 70th minutes in that game. He can bring him on to play like 60, 70 minutes today again. But he didn't do that. Hannibal straight to the bench. I don't know why. And I think Hannibal has been good so far. He might not be giving the assist or creating the chances, but he's doing a job in that team. And we've seen it in the last 2 games, and he deserves to start. We know Pelestri started this game fine, but Garnacho did very well in the last game and deserves to build on that performance in this game. And when he came on, we saw what Garnacho did in just 15 minutes. So he is already proven the manager wrong that you made a bad decision by not starting me. So we need to start players that are ready to fight for the shirt, fight for the party, and put in a good performance and create. And it shouldn't be one-sided. Most times, like if Erik ten Hag, if his tactics doesn't work, he doesn't have a backup plan. There needs to be a backup plan. There needs to be something else to be able to break down this team. We saw it against Brighton. We started the game well, but De Zerbi looked at the game and saw what we're trying to do and switched his own formation. Then we could not do anything again because we didn't have a plan B. There needs to be a plan B. If the plan A doesn't work, there needs to be a plan B. And make your substitutions early and make good decisions, please. I don't know what is assistant or at what's the other white
Steve
man?
McLaren.
Yeah, Steve McLaren. I don't know what they are telling him or if they are the one helping him in substitution. He needs to make better substitution, make substitution early so they can impact these games and hopefully we'll get better results. And now the results need to start coming. And we can't keep scraping. We can't keep losing these points. Like I said, even if we play well, we need to get the 3 points because now going on to Galatasaray that 3 points is very, very important. Because if we lose that game, I think the pressure will start mounting on the defender because that's 2 games lost in the Champions League already, and it's going to be very bad. So we need the performances to start coming in now and getting the win. Even if we don't perform well, get a 1-0 win I don't know how he's going to do it, but he needs to devise a means to get these guys playing, fighting for this shirt and getting the points.
And right now, I would have to say I feel sorry for Ola's table right now because that table is getting abused. All I'm hearing is that table is being banged. Yeah, right now. Poor table right now, but just before I get to the rest of you guys, of course, just a couple of comments there. King Depp says, Erik ten Hag very unfortunate with injuries and personal issues. Ten Hag has done okay, but still the jury is out. We want to see attractive football, win, lose, or draw. He hasn't given us that since he has joined. And Stephanie says 1 more points needed. And if you don't laugh, you will cry. And King Depths as well says that I would be happier with 20 shots on target. Opponents, keepers tested, but we were unlucky. And of course, he says, but when we lose, the opponent deserves the victory. And if he doesn't change this, he has to go. All right, guys, back to the comments and back to the situation of Erik ten Hag and his decision making, his substitution. Who else wanted to have their say? And Jerome or Traps, who wants to go?
Yeah, I was just gonna say with the manager, his substitutions are very questionable, to say the least, because it seems to be taking so long to make the change. Even we can see that the change is needed, staring at him in the face. So I'm not sure what's going on with his in-game management at the moment because he put Donny on with 4 minutes to go, and I was thinking, are we going back to the Ollie days or something? Like, why is man being disrespected? Donny to come on and do what? Exactly. And then I'm pretty sure my head was gone at this point anyway because I knew we were losing the game. And I saw Lindelof and Varane coming off, and I saw Maguire coming on. And I was thinking, are these players injured or what? What's Maguire doing on? And then I saw Maguire, he looked like he was going to concede the penalty. The ball hit his hand. I was just thinking, it's so typical to bring on Maguire, and then all of a sudden, all these things start happening. You know, when you bring on a loser player, then the loser mentality just spreads across to the team. I was just thinking, does this manager know what he's doing? Like, some of these decisions are just like, you got the selection wrong. You didn't do anything about it until it was too late. I think the first substitution was like, 75 minutes? I think 75, 76 minutes.
60 minutes. It was 60 minutes. 60 minutes.
But what was the first? What was the first?
That 60 minutes.
That was Mason. It was Mason Mount.
Because I didn't see anything meaningful in 60 minutes.
No, you didn't. You didn't. Because what you saw was Garnacho come on in 60 minutes, and Rashford go over to the right. Pointless substitution, because at the end of the day, Pellistri, I know you lot say Pellistri was out of his depth, but if you, in the grand scheme of things, the only one that would give you what he's got to the end out of the 3 that I saw today would have been Pellistri. He was the only one that was trying to give it 100%. Yeah. So
he was trying. So, anyways, continue.
Yeah.
He was. Pellistri was definitely trying, but the point I was trying to make is that the manager was very slow to react to changes that were needed, because that first half was abject. And I was thinking the top manager would have rung the changes straight at half time. It'd be like, you, Bruno, Rashford, you're coming off. We're making changes straight away. I know for a fact Mourinho or Louis van Gaal, they would have made changes at half time and they would have told the players to come out, all guns blazing. But we just came out of the block so slow, didn't make any changes, and it's just like we're just going through the motions. And I think the manager's relying far too heavily on players that ain't performing. And I think he's putting his job on the line by doing that. I think he needs to be a bit more cutthroat and ruthless. If you're not performing, you're coming off. I remember Mourinho, who'd take off a player within like 23 minutes in the game, halfway in the first half. But you're playing shit, you're coming off. We need to see some more of that ruthlessness. We've got too much players that are just relaxing on the pitch and not doing nothing and knowing that they're still going to get a game. So, yeah, the manager's got a lot to answer for with that team selection. And for me, he's playing with his job at the moment, and he's not learning from past mistakes. He seems to be doing the same thing that we saw in game 1 and game 2. You can see that Bruno and Mount can't play together, but he somehow puts them back in the team, even though Mount seemed to be playing well without him on Tuesday. So I don't know if the manager doesn't know his best team yet, or he does know his best team, but the best team that he thinks is the best team is not the best team. And if that's the case, then we're in big trouble. So
yeah, absolutely.
He's got. I don't know what he's going to do to change it, but I want him to take Bruno and Rashford out the team and put a more fluid team out, that like we saw on Tuesday. But I just don't have faith that he's going to do that. And if that's not going to happen, then it's going to be a long, long season, and we're going to be lurking around mid-table throughout the majority of the season if he's going to continue to play Rashford and Bruno.
Now, just before we get to you, Traps, Ten Hag said earlier on after the match, said that we conceded only 3 chances over the whole game, all 3 from set plays. Then I think we got in good position and then made poor decisions. We have to blame ourselves. He told MUTV. Ten Hag also said, I think Rashford now, he can do it better than he does now. I'm sure he will come. He works hard. He will net. He will finish. It will come, but it's not coming automatic again. He also said that it's frustrating beginning of the season for everyone, especially for the fans, but it's for us as well. We have to stick together, fight together, and get better and make sure we get improvement. And I understand the boost from the fans. Okay, what's your thoughts on Erik ten Hag's decision making today?
Well, like you said, it says it all. But managers, Manchester United managers do not get booed at Old Trafford. Yeah, this is not the first time. Yeah, this is the second time now. Yeah, because of your in-game management. When you took off Højlund and you bought, I can't remember what he done. He took off Højlund, and he said obviously it might have been because of precaution, because of his injury. He was coming up with injury, but the crowd weren't happy about it. So when the crowd are not happy with you, yeah, it's for a reason. You're not addressing me. You're not addressing, and I get it. Your job isn't to make the crowd happy, but your job is to win. And if you win, it makes the crowd happy. It goes hand in hand. So at the end of the day, if the crowd's not happy, it's for reasons. And his tactical prowess in games is shit. Simple as that, because he does not know how to see when something is not working and change it to outsmart his opponent. Because a lot of managers come, this is what happens. They come, he plays one way, they see, identify where they're going wrong, or how, or where he's winning the game after the first 20 minutes. They change it and then they start beating us. That is where he goes wrong. He doesn't have that. He doesn't know how to spot things in the game and turn it around. Another thing is his substitutions. Now, if you need a goal, why are you bringing on Harry Maguire?
You just have to laugh. You just have to laugh.
And you know what the funniest thing about is that imagine, if you're Jadon Sancho in this board meeting after this game, because if I was Jadon Sancho in this board meeting, I'd be like, bruv, you think I'm apologizing to you after you needed a goal, and you brought on Harry fucking Maguire and nearly gave away a penalty, and you think I'm sitting on and I'm not even allowed to come to training, I'm not apologizing to you, bro. So again, like I'm saying, he's just, for me, it's like, cool. Managers learn. They come in, they learn. They learn on the job or whatever they do, But for me, I don't see this guy learning. This guy is coming across as a very, very belligerent, very, very stubborn, very set in his ways, and he ain't changing it for anyone. But like I said, if you're gonna sit there and rely on the likes of Rashford and Højlund and thingy when it's not working and you ain't gonna change it, then who else you gonna get to blame? I'm not gonna blame Rashford for starting every game and playing shit. It's the same as Anthony. Yeah, Anthony's been playing shit for God knows how long. Yeah, he has a good game here and there, but he's not consistent, and majority of his games are shit. So when you see things like Darlow last season scoring a goal last season, and Anthony's looking at Maguire in some weird way, like get away from me sort of thing, or you see in a match Anthony calling Bruno a puta, yeah. It's great to see that Anthony's quite comfortable at Man United right now. He's quite comfortable. So how is Anthony so comfortable to be calling the former captain and the captain, looking at the captain funny and calling the captain this, but it's not achieving, bro? Erik ten Hag is not, he's moving like a politician with his favourites, and he's not doing what's best for the club. And I'm telling you now, if he keeps doing that, if the crowd's going to turn on him, then the players will throw him under the bus. And then we'll get a new manager in, and everyone will be like, new manager, great, we're going to start winning things again, and then
the cycle
begins again. I mean, for me, Ten Hag needs someone above him. He needs a director of football, a proper one, that knows about football and knows what's good for the team and what he's doing wrong and what not, and can make decisions, can override decisions and let him know this can't happen and that can't happen. He's not got that. For right now, I just feel like the first thing they've come out and said is his job's safe. So, all right, cool. So that's them basically saying, look, we don't know what to do with this guy. So he's done well. He's won us a trophy. So we're leaving him to. They're hanging him out to dry now, right? So he's on his own. His job is safe. So go do your job and leave us alone. Yeah. And I just don't think that. Like I said, he needs to step it up, because everyone thought that this Ten Hag was the guy and this, that, and the other. And I always told everybody, Ten Hag is a nobody in English football. He has to come here and prove himself. Yeah. And right now, it's not looking good, man.
And also to just watch what I'm trying to say, I'm like, and that's where it comes to having a club that has structure, that is run properly. Because if we had the structure and we had owners that are willing and ready to that have the interest of the club at heart, we will not be in situations like this. Because you can blame the coach, but there needs to be a structure that's overseeing what this coach is doing, both in training and the decision making. That's what a director of football is supposed to be there for. And I think the Glazers, I don't even know what's happening with the sale of the club, but something needs to happen. Because
listen, do you know what our owner was doing today? Do you know what our owner was doing today?
He was working his dog.
Pushing a dog in a pram in Manhattan.
Yeah.
They weren't watching the game, that's for sure.
That's for sure.
They probably don't even know what the score is right now.
Yeah, it's just sad to be in this position as United fans. And I think if the Laser doesn't sell, I don't see this changing anytime soon. And like you said, at some point the players, the fans will turn on the manager and will get sacked. I want to bring in a new manager. The cycle continues, and as a United fan, I want the survey to stop as soon as possible, because it's getting from bad to worse. 10 years now and counting. I don't want to be like Liverpool going 30 years, going 20. Like this something needs to change.
Something needs to change. That's what we're going to do right now. But guys, smash that like button, subscribe to Red United TV as we're coming close to the end of the stream. But yes, a lot of things have changed. And that's why we're here to discuss the second segment. Where do we go from here? We've got Galatasaray next, coming in the Champions League. A tough game against Galatasaray, especially at home. Seems that we don't look like the team that was a force to be reckoned with at home. We've been battered and bruised back to back now. What is next for Manchester United, man? And Galatasaray, what's your expectations? I'm going to start off with you, Jerome, and then work my way around as we come to the end of the show.
I expect United to come out all guns blazing against Galatasaray after that abject performance we saw this afternoon. If we don't, then you'll have to question whether the manager's lost the dressing room or not, because after a performance like that, it can't get any worse, surely. He's got to make some changes. He's got to be bold. He's got to be brave. I think Anthony will probably come back into the team, because I don't think Pellistri is ready. and I still expect him to put Bruno and Rashford in the team, even though I don't agree with that, because he's going to stick by that. And I just think that, I think we're going to come out more positive. We're at home. It's going to be in the evening. Old Trafford's going to be rocking, because it's a Champions League, first home game in the Champions League. I expect us to get a positive result. So I'm not too overly concerned about the Champions League, because it's a different culture, different style of play, a bit slow pace. I'm just more concerned about our Premier League form. So I think the Champions League game could take care of itself. I don't see Galatasaray as any sort of major threat, if I'm going to be honest with you. If anything, I think the Palace game today is tougher than Galatasaray, if I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's just a totally different culture, a different atmosphere, different environment in the Champions League. So hopefully we get the win against Galatasaray, and then we just need to just focus on our Premier League form, because it's looking worrying. I can't even bear to look at the table at the moment. 10th place -4 goal difference is shocking for a team that spent 400 M's in 2 years. I expect us to be positive against Galatasaray. I can't believe people think that Galatasaray should be a tough game, that we should be demolishing this team. I'm sorry about this Galatasaray, but we're not playing Real Madrid or Barcelona. So
but it's also Manchester United, isn't it?
Yeah, we're Man United, but come on. We lost 4-3 against Bayern Munich, the toughest team in our group, even though it wasn't really a 4-3 scoreline, if you saw based on the reflection of the whole game. But come on, Galatasaray at home, we should be winning that. It's just two different competitions. We're only it's only the second game in. I think we should see that game, and then it's just all about, as I keep saying, we just need to get up that league table, because I can't even bear to look at it at the moment.
It's true. Yeah. Just when we go one place above, just when we just progress in the league, we just fell backwards again, man. Just disappointed. I'm gonna go to you, Trats, man. Of course, that's asked the question. Where do Manchester United go from here, especially with a game against Galatasaray next?
Well, we go to the game, and if we don't play well, we lose, and we end up going to the Europa League again, mate. That's what happens. This is what happens. Like, at the end of the day, like this team, it needs to the culture at the club and the mentality needs to change. Ten Hag needs to realize that he can't rely on the players that he's trying to rely on. He needs to rely on players that deserve to play, and rely on players that are gonna play, and they're gonna play to the best of their ability. And that might be Dan Gore. That might be Hannibal. Yeah, that might not be Rashford or Fee, unfortunately. And I know people will turn around and say, "Oh, Rashford out the team, or this one out the team." But at the end of the day, a big statement's happened today where you played both teams. You played the same team twice in a week, which rarely ever happens, right? And you've lost one, and you won one. It happened last season as well when we played Aston Villa. Remember, we got beat off Aston Villa. Then we played them in the cup, and then we won. And then we went and we kicked on from there. Played Spurs, beat Spurs, and so on and so forth. Right now, he has to stop the rot. That's what he needs to do, and that's on him now. He has to stop the rot between now and Galatasaray next week. Otherwise, the pressure's going to mount, and he's going to be in the pressure cooker. Him.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And Ola, what about you? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think, like Jerome said, they need to put in a good performance against Galatasaray. I don't think we've said that after every game this season so far. We need the fight, we need this and that. I've not really gotten anything so far this season from these players. So, like Chap said, we need to get the players that are willing and ready to play, fight to the 90th minute, the last minute of the game, put in a good performance. And I don't care, it might be Garnacho starting all the games, Peleshi, I don't care. We need these players that need to play. And I don't care if our captain is on the bench. We saw that with Maguire last season. If Bruno needs to be on the bench, let him be on the bench. If Rashford needs to be benched, let him be benched. The manager needs to show his balls now. And also, I need to mention something. I don't know what's going on with our players that are getting injured. Our medical team, there needs to be something going on there. I don't know what's going on, but there's something going on somewhere, because every player getting injured. We have like 9 players out now, and we can't afford to get any more. Because as much as we don't like Maguire, we can't afford Maguire getting injured now. Because if he gets injured now, we are left with just Johnny Evans. Varane, we know he's not really fit, and Lindelof. So we need these injured players back as soon as possible. But the most important thing against Galatasaray, we need to get a good performance and a win in that game, because Galatasaray, likes of Zaha, we know what Zaha do to us when he's playing against us at Crystal Palace, and they have like a lot of players that normally on a normal day we should be winning those games, but those players can still hurt us. And seeing the performance, giving them more confidence to come out and play and get a good performance against us. So we need to be on top of our game and get the 3 points. I think the 3 points is very, very important at this moment, because if we lose against Galatasaray, I think the Europa League is calling us, and I prefer we don't even go to anyone than going back to the Europa League. Let's just get out of everything and just get out of the Champions League, if that's what's going to happen. But I want to put my trust in the manager, and hopefully it changes. This stubbornness needs to stop. He needs to be ruthless with the players that are not playing well, and put out the players that are going to perform for the shirt, fight for the badge, and get a good performance.
Yes, that is right there, man. Just before we all leave off, I didn't even ask you guys who was your man of the match or your donkey of the match for the game before we just end the show, man. Smash that like button, share across our social media platforms. Obviously, my man of the match is the fans, you, everyone else, for watching this game, because it took a lot out of us. But my donkey of the match, Rashford. I don't want to say why. I don't need to explain. I think you should all understand why, because I think he's a least impactful player. I'm going to go up to Traps and then Jerome and then Ola. Who was your man of the match or your donkey of the match?
My man of the match is the Crystal Palace goalkeeper. I can't remember his name.
Sam Johnson, ex-graduate, MUFC graduate.
Yeah, he was the man of the match. He had a good game. He commanded his box well. He kept the chances out. He had the luck to go with it as well, and it was just his day to day. And obviously the donkey for me, it's got to be Rashford.
Jerome, what about you, brother?
Yeah, the definite donkey is definitely Rashford. Obviously, Bruno's a close second, but it's obviously Rashford. He was just piss poor. I didn't seem to do anything right. Can't cross, can't do basic passes. Lost the ball countless times. Wasn't really trying. Had midweek off, but seemed like he was tired or fed up or couldn't be bothered. It was just shambolic, really. And man of the match, I'll probably give it to the Crystal Palace manager, Hodgson. Man, just chilling on the sidelines, just thinking this is a walk in the park. Like, this United team is just a shambolic. I could just get the goal, get my team to sit back, play on the counter, and just be trouble free, really. So I got to give it to him. Like, he's an experienced manager, and he knows what he's doing when it comes to playing against the big teams. So I'll give it to him.
And Ola, what's your man of the match or donkey of the match?
I think I'll give my man of the match to Mark Gay. I think he played really well, blocking a couple of shots and just putting a good performance. I think Anderson and Gay coming in that defense, they did their best, even though we should be doing better against them. And the donkey of the match obviously has to be Rashford, because he has been poor so much this season. And hopefully, I want him to turn it around. I want him to get the goals that he got last season, but we can't keep waiting for Rashford to turn it around. If he needs to be on the bench for the main time, we have to do that and put him on the bench. But we know what he can do if he is on form or if he plays better. So he needs to do better. But for now, he has been poor, and he will be the donkey of the match.
There it goes, guys. Marcus Rashford, unanimous decision, donkey of the match. Big up to everyone that's tuned in today. Of course, we're back live next week for the next catch-up. I believe it will be the following day, because I'm not watching. I won't be streaming. Next week, your boy Aaron Spice is not doing no watch-along on a Saturday or Sunday, because you'll be chilling in the barbecue. You'll watch the match. But, of course, we will do the catch-up on the exact same night. Don't worry, guys, because I think we play at 3 p.m., so 8 p.m. by the time I should be home in time. Yeah, so 8 p.m. again or 9 p.m. So we'll see what happens. But
guys, please like, subscribe,
share
the video, support the channel. Big up Traps. I'm meeting Traps for the first time, but we're having a good conversation on Instagram, was it yesterday or the day before? So big up Jim, big up everyone. And please like, subscribe, and share the video. Subscribe to my channel also, the Football Family. A lot of great contents coming, guys.
A lot of great content coming, so make sure you subscribe to the football family as well. And then follow Traps as well, MUFC Traps and Traps MUFC, and follow Jerome, follow everyone else that's watching today, man. But again, we're back. I'm back live Tuesday, live watch along, 7:40, Champions League, and then of course as well Sarcasm City on Tuesday. And I don't know if I really want to be jumping on one touch, but I can't be hiding. I can't be hiding. If he wants me there, I'll be there. But anyway, guys, it has come to the end of the show. Smash that like button, share across all social media platforms as well, and follow every social media platform. So follow me on Rumble, Twitch, follow Reggie Night TV on MUFC on YouTube as well, and also YouTube. It is what it is, man. Big up to you. Remember to keep it united, and remember to keep it Reggie United. Peace and love from everyone. See you next time. Sayonara.